Up here in southwest Michigan. Did some grafting today on April 27th. This was a little late. Bud was already breaking on leaves here in southwest Michigan, but I'm giving it a try. I basically have a little bit of Orleans Rennet here and here on the south side of this sargent crabapple. I've got here a kid's orange red, here a margil, another margil here that's up at the top. These are on the northeast corner of the bush. Some grafts from last year, rather crude grafting technique here on a number of these joints, but the proof is in the pudding here. They took well last year and are growing well. On the front here we have two of Liberty. I thought I would try my hand at a little bit of disease-resistant apple growing here, grafted onto my sargent crab. And then one more kid's orange red here. The technique I used today involved makeshift tape. I used friction tape, electrician's friction tape for a lot of these. We'll see if there's something toxic in that tape that keeps one from actually having a successful graft. And then I provide some reinforcement for many of them with some duct tape. And then there are some where I just use pure duct tape, like this one right here, where basically, as with last year, I simply wrapped duct tape for the first half an inch or so. I folded the tape over on itself so that I wouldn't get as much duct tape sticking directly to the wood. So that first half inch or so of the tape wraps around the stem, and then the sticky duct tape attaches directly to that duct tape that's not firmly attached to the stem. It worked last year. We'll see if it works this year. I'm going to go off to another part of property to show you what I did in the main orchard. So I'm up here in the main orchard, and we'll continue my comments on grafting that I did today. It's April 27th, 2014. It's a little bit late, but I couldn't get up here the past couple of weeks because of business. And so we actually have leaf breaking on many of the trees. I did a couple things up here in the main orchard. One is I attempted to graft here some pollinator scion. This is a prairie fire crabapple that is grafted onto my Honeycrisp apple tree. As you can see here, I used a straight up duct tape sort of binding to tie the scion to the rootstock here. As I mentioned in another video, what I do is I fold over the duct tape for at least a half inch, and then use that non-adhesive portion of the duct tape on the surface of the joint, and then the sticky duct tape helps me wrap the rest of it tight. It'll make it easier for us to get the tape off of the graft, ultimately, should this take. On my other Honeycrisp apple tree over here, I added some sargent crabapple using the same technique, and just hope that as the next few weeks wear on, we'll have actually some action here on this scion. Over here, I transplanted a few other things down this road past a couple of these trees onto this tree, which is an Ashmead's kernel, a few years old now, not yet bearing. I put a second scion of prairie fire crabapple here, just so that if the other one doesn't work out, I've got, one crabapple here in the main orchard. Again, my goal is to put crabapple branches here in the main orchard with the eating apples in the hopes that that super pollen will give me greater crops from these apple trees. As you can see, I am grafting a little bit late. Could not avoid that because of business, but we'll see if this works. This is a duct tape bandage here on this scion attachment. On the other side of the tree, I have the other pollinator scion, which is the sargent crab, that is attached also with duct tape, and we'll see how this works out in the coming weeks. The final set of scions I did today, or grafting projects I did today, are over here on my old southern apple tree here, the pumpkin sweet. This is an eating apple, pumpkin sweet, and I put 2 scions from my own garden back in the city here under this tree. One is stamen wine sap, and this other one here is Ravenstein. And again, these were done primarily with duct tape bindings to attach the scion to the rootstock. So we'll compare the friction tape bindings to the duct tape bindings this coming later spring and summer, and maybe I'll have a better idea of what works best. There's just one more area of the orchard to go over to, and I'll see you there. So the commercial orchard I was working with gave me, in some cases, some pretty big scion wood. They must have had some pretty vigorous trees with some vigorous first-year growth this past year. These were scions I didn't actually want, so these were backup scions because they didn't have what I was available. These are November peach, which is another eating apple. And, you know, I decided that I would just come out here near the garden, my vegetable garden, and take a hold of my sargent crab and try and attach these November peach scions to the sargent crab. With this plant, it's very easy to see. I'm pretty late here in my attempts at doing this grafting. The leaves have come out. There may even be some flower buds that are starting to come out on this crabapple tree. I have 2 scions attached to this one. Here's the second one. And these are primarily duct tape with some friction tape on the outside to provide additional pressure. But anyway, it's a beautiful April day, April 27th, 2014. Sasha and I are enjoying the great outdoors.